Welcome to Nutrapreneur. Today we have Scott Dicker, Market Insights Director at Spins, a Chicago-based leader in retail consumer insights for the natural, organic, and specialty products industry. Scott's passion for the sports nutrition and natural product industry, combined with his expertise in data and trend analysis, brings a unique perspective to our discussion. Welcome, Scott. It's so great to have you today.
Thanks so much for having me on, Bethany. Excited to be here.
Yeah, so first of all, I think it'd be great if you could share with us some of the experiences that you have that have shaped your understanding of consumer insights and trend analysis in the sports nutrition and natural product industries.
Absolutely, and I like how you took that bio. It must have been from one of the sports nutrition presentations that we have upcoming. But we do cover the entire store at Spins, and I've been at Spins now for, I believe, 7.5 years. I started off on our product intelligence team, and that's where we really dive into the different views of the data. So we're developing attributes, syndicated hierarchies. So this is really how to shape it. And I manage the team of customer insights over there, and so it's working, directly with customers, understanding how they're looking at the data, and also developing what types of views we want to see, what ingredients are trending, how can we stay ahead of the trends, what categories are going up, how do retailers look at the categories, things like that. And then I've spent the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now doing market insights. So I do a lot of our presentations at conferences, webinars. I create a lot of our thought leadership material. And I know we're focused on the supplement space today, but we do cover the entire store. Prior to my time at Spins, my background is in nutritional science and nutritional chemistry. I a certified sports nutritionist as well, so I worked as a sports nutritionist for a bit, and yeah, excited. So that kind of that whole thing kind of shapes how we're looking at the data. I love the active nutrition space as well as the supplement space, where you could kind of see what's going on in the health and wellness space. We know health and wellness has been really a major trend throughout the entire industry, and a lot of it stems from the supplement space. So, for example, seeing mood support supplements doing well a few years ago, now we see that shifting into functional beverages, and so it's a great way to see kind of what's coming to the broader grocery sec, but also active nutrition, since that is my favorite space. That's been the category that's really driving the growth of all of supplements over the past couple of years. It's been the fastest growing category of each of the past 3 years. And a lot of people are really recognizing that this category is for overall health, and it's not just for elite or competitive athletes.
Right, absolutely. And, I think looking into what do consumers really want for whether it's supplements or any products that are being sold in the stores. And so I think it'd be good to talk about how does Spins approach consumer insights and analytics across conventional e-commerce and natural channels for a comprehensive understanding of marketplace dynamics?
Spins has really the unique perspective where get point of sale data from a variety of retailers. We have a partnership with Circana, formerly IRI, where we get the conventional, your Walmarts, Targets, Kroger's of the world, the data. But then proprietary to Spins, we get the natural channel, regional independent grocery channels, and a couple others. But let me just stop there real quick. We see a lot of the trends happening first in the natural channel. So while it's a smaller segment, it's really where a lot of the trends bubble up. So it's a great predictor of what's to come. And so we have the unique view, getting a lot of the natural channel only. We additionally have the ability to see what's happening on Amazon, where, no surprise, right? That's a growing market where people are shopping online, and you're able to track kind of what trends are doing better in brick and mortar versus online. So a lot of times they have first online, then they in mortar, but there's also trends that happen first in store, then shift online. So you kind of get an understanding of where trends are originating, what brands may have started out as D2C brands and are going to make their way into retail, really disrupting the section. And then also, we also have exclusive relationships with the leading specialty retailers in the space. So that's Vitamin Shoppe and GNC, along with a few others. And so, what's unique about supplements, in my opinion, is that the specialty retailers still play such an important role in both educating, bringing up new products, new trends, new brands. And so having that view and that relationship with GNC and Vitamin Shoppe, when you combine that with Amazon and the natural channel, it really gives spins a unique ability to see the entire or close to the entire space. And that can shape how we see what's going on today. And more importantly, for a lot of brands and retailers, what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you bring up a good point with, like GNC, for instance. I feel like when you go in there to shop for supplements or if you're looking for something, typically it's a smaller space. There's employees in there that tend to know a bit more about the products and seem to be more in tune with what's selling or what might be best for your needs versus going to Walmart where you're kind of on your own when you're looking for a supplement there.
And you bring up a great point. And so I used to say that it was like the omni-channel approach, right? Like people sometimes shop online, they sometimes shop in store. But as we've kind of evolved, there's really just one channel, right? Everything is kind of everywhere now. So I always like to bring up this analogy. Like you could be walking into any store, but let's say you're walking to a conventional retailer, you see a product that catches your eye. You might just bring out your phone and look up more about it right there. And the same thing goes the other way too. A lot of research is done online, and then the next time you're in, let's say a GNC or a Walgreens or whatever, you see it, and that's what drove you to make the purchase. So really, it's kind of everywhere now. This omni channel is really just one channel of kind of on demand shopping, and so the the specialty stores I want to also give a plug for a lot of the natural retailers are still pretty very knowledgeable in the supplement space, having the knowledgeable staff, having the innovative brands that people are looking for right off the bat. Some of the conventional stores have done a better job bringing those brands in early, but sometimes it's hard for them to stay. A lot of times still like kind of the grassroots approach of starting in specialty and natural, building your brand up, building your customer base, and of course your D2C and Amazon, is included in that before going to some of those mass retailers. Oftentimes, that's a strategy for long-term success.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd say that Spins aims to maximize the value of information for growing the natural product industry. And so, how does the company provide information and insight for actionable business solutions in the nutraceutical industry?
So I mentioned the exclusive data, right? That's very important, especially for brands, to get a full view of both their business, their competitors' business, and the landscape of the industry. But that data doesn't mean as much if you don't know how to interpret it and pull out insights from it. And that's where Spin's product intelligence really comes in. I mentioned that, I was on the product intelligence team to start my Spin's career, and it's evolved so much even in the couple of years since I've moved over to a different department. But you're able to track things like as zoomed out as you want. So just like what's the category look like for creatine or protein powder, or you can zoom in to say, I only want to look at chocolate protein powder that's using pea protein as a source, using no artificial sweeteners, and is labeled organic and certified non-GMO project. So we have these exclusive attribute suites, so you can see how label claims are impacting sales, what ingredients are trending. In supplements, obviously, it's very important what functional ingredients are there. Again, we hear a lot about, for example, functional mushrooms. Which mushroom is it? And also, we have this blend of the data with subject matter experts that kind of is like the art and science back combo. where we can say this product is positioned as a immune health product, for example, or a digestive health product, or a pre-workout, just for example. And that way you can see what different types of ingredients are having success as they position themselves for. And so this is really exciting. And I'll give you another example. Probiotics, most people think of as like digestive health products. I bet you if I asked you, Bethany, that would be like the first thing that came to your mind, right?
Yes.
Uh, but but we're able to track now that probiotics are doing really well when they're positioned for women's health issues or immune health or brain health products. And so understanding like how you can grow the industry without even introducing a new ingredient. There's just different uses for kind of the age-old ingredients. That's one of the key takeaways. I know, we were talking offline a little bit about ingredient suppliers. That's a big way we work with ingredient suppliers, help them understand what the market looks like for their ingredients beyond just their most common use. But also, just providing education on some of these products and the ingredients through the attributes and the insights that we're able to pull out of them. It really helps build the entire industry, have a more educated customer base, and really maximize if you're a brand, your retail strategy, your product development, where there's white space. Maybe what opportunities are you missing in your labeling of your products? What sweeteners are available to you? I always go back to that one because I think that's very interesting when we talk about things like energy drinks and pre-workouts. So many of them, I don't know if I'm aging myself a bit, but I remember like being in high school and college, and it was like all like very, very bro marketing a lot of these sports nutrition products.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so you're nodding your head. So I guess you know what I'm talking about. And so now we're seeing that shift. It's softer marketing, removing some of those like bright colors and artificial sweeteners and flavors. And it's really become more of an inclusive category where it had always predominantly been only about young men, looking to get jacked. And now it's really about, maintaining that healthy lifestyle throughout the aging process. Healthy aging is actually one of the biggest trends we're seeing, and so being able to pull that out, understanding what channel is best for that strategy. If you're a brand, I know you mentioned that a lot of these are emerging brands. So understanding like what retailers would you be a good fit for? That's something that we help brands with. So it's not just kind of let's guess and hope that it works out. It's really you can target the retailers. Since we work with so many of the retailers, we understand what building a successful pitch deck looks like. We help brands with that as well. And also we know what they want to see. So, you know, understanding what data points are important to talk to retailers about getting in there. And once you get into a few retailers, we also can help you with like your promotion strategy. What's going to get you the most bang for your buck. So we work with this level of brands in a variety of ways. And really, when it comes to the supplement space, we're really the only company that has access to all this data.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I think, it's such an important resource for new brands because they might not know how to market their product to these larger retailers, or they might think they really want to get into this specific retailer, but when you take a look at the big picture, they'd be a better fit for this other retailer. So I think being able to utilize spins as a resource would be very beneficial.
Absolutely. And it goes well beyond that also. It's like managing your Amazon business. We can
Mhm.
help you with that. Um, and each channel is so different.
Mhm.
So it's helping you navigate, what's working great for you on Amazon might not work for you at a natural retailer, for example, or might not work for you at Target. And so it's really navigating those different channels, um, understanding where you can use data, where you need to be disruptive, and what's going on in the industry as a whole, what trends are out there. I'll give a little plug for myself that we always do like some of the state of supplements content at big shows like Expo West. Um, I think you probably pulled it from Active Nutrition Summit that I'll be at. And so understanding the latest happenings in the industry are going to really help these brands find their audience, find their retail partners for the best chance of success.
This episode is brought to you by nutrapayments.com. If your business needs credit card processing that fully integrates with most major Nutra software platforms, offers the lowest industry prices, and has built-in features like recurring billing, $0 trials, and chargeback prevention, then visit us at nutrapayments.com for a free online quote.
Can you share with us any success stories or initiatives where Spin's insights played a pivotal role in driving growth and innovation in the natural products sector?
Well, it's grown tremendously, and so you can ask many of our clients, and they will tell you that we've helped them tremendously. I can't give you specific client examples today, but a lot of it's helping expand their retail footprint, expand their product innovation. Worked with a lot of brands recently who have been trying to move from Amazon to retail, understanding like what makes sense there. But also is like product development. So understanding where the white space is or what need can their current product set fit. So, we mentioned creatine earlier. We're seeing a big push now for creatine for cognitive health. So showing that there's a demand for certain other categories in their current product set is one that we do often. And yeah, it's really like, maximizing their output, getting their promotion strategy on point. Like, where can they take price? Where do they have to be a little more aggressive on promo? We're about to release in January. I don't know when this is going to go live. In January, we're going to release a supplement newsletter around seasonality of products. And so that's something else that people need to keep in mind. So really endless ways. We work with brands of all different sizes across the entire store.
Yeah, and so for the more established brands that you might have a larger data set on, is there anything they can do with that data for like a marketing perspective per se?
A lot, yes. So bigger brands, they use it, not as much to build their retail pitch decks. They're usually pretty good at that. They've had that experience. But then it's, we have brands that use it, understanding which brands to look at for maybe acquisition, but also really to understand the category for new product development and innovation, and then therefore disruption. So we see a lot of innovation, which is a lot of new products coming into the market. And then the disruption comes for like, where can they actually take large percent of market share? And so understanding the full landscape, what brands are up and coming, understanding the competitive landscape, and who's your true competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're a small brand, the biggest brand at Walmart or on Amazon, it's probably not your most direct competitor. You probably want to look at some different niches to build your brand base, whether it's in the organic gummy space or whatever it is. But there's use cases regardless of if you have $100,000 in sales or $1 billion in sales. It's just you get a little more savvy with the data usually as you get a little bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a good point as well. I've talked to a few brands where I'll ask, who are your competitors or who are you trying to compete with? And sometimes they don't even know, or they'll say a brand. And then when I think about it, I don't see the connection between the two. So I think being able to understand that data is really important.
Yeah, like if you were starting Bethany's soda company, and your first competitor probably wouldn't be Coca-Cola, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and so it's really understanding, how you're positioned in the market, where you're going to go after to have the best chance of success, and how you want to grow your brand strategically.
Yeah, and this industry is constantly evolving and changing, and innovation is such a big piece. What trends do you foresee in the nutraceutical industry, and how does Spins position itself to stay at the forefront of identifying and interpreting these trends?
Uh, Let me take the second question first, and then then I'll get into some of my trends for 2024. So one, we're tracking ingredients. We're always adding new ingredient and new attributes to our data, so we could kind of uncover them as soon as they hit the market. We were tracking CBD before it hit the market when it was 5-6 years ago. We started tracking other of the cannabinoids in there as well. We're tracking all the mushrooms. Like, we try to stay ahead of it through our deep knowledge of the industry by creating the data views before they actually hit the market, so that as soon as they start scanning in the first store, we're tracking it. So that's one of the ways we are always staying ahead of the curve, is updating the data. Again, we have exclusively the data from the innovation channels, which is how you see things before they go mainstream by definition, right? And then when it comes to what my predictions are for, do you want to stick to 2024 or do you want to go longer?
We can go longer if you'd like, if you have some insight.
Well, we could do some long-term predictions, but for the immediate 2024, I think the category to really look out for is women's health. We've seen a lot of inklings. A lot of these women's health products were actually down in 2023, but there's a lot of attention on it. We see a lot more brands popping up or line extensions that are focused specifically on like female issues of perimenopause, menopause, throughout the menstruation cycle, things like that. And a lot of these brands are big D2C right now. I think that they're going to get into major retailers this year, and it's going to be a big boom. We talked about sports nutrition a lot. We see a lot of products now focusing around women in that area as well. Research studies have almost always neglected women, especially in sports nutrition. We're seeing that change a little bit. So I think there's an opportunity for that. So I would really focus on women's health in 2024 and beyond. I think that's something to keep an eye out for. Active nutrition, again, was the largest growing category for each of the past 3 years. It will probably be a fourth year in 2024. In addition to the addition of women, we're seeing aging populations playing in the category more. Part of it's that softening of the marketing I talked about, but a lot of it also is this consumer mindset shift of kind of trying to increase their health span, which is, and someone else told me this line, so I don't want to take full credit for it, but it's everyone wants to die young now, just as late as possible. And so as you think about that, people are going to be looking to take care of themselves and stay active. And so active nutrition is going to play a big role in that. Protein, obviously, is one of the key drivers around that. But some of the more specialty products, we saw creatine was the top growing functional ingredient of 2023. It's probably going to have a pretty good year in 2024. I know there's some legislation out there that might hinder it in a few states. But active nutrition as a whole should be a big growth driver. What else do you want to talk about? What other trends here? Any other categories? Microbiome and mushrooms, I think, are very interesting. I think they might level off for a little bit before going back up when there's new research and products available. But yeah.
Yeah, I think because I've seen mushrooms kind of, that's been a keyword for a while. But I'm excited to see more women's health products become available because, like you said, I think exercise and strength training has always just been associated with men. But, as time goes on, we've discovered there's really important aspects for strength training for women as well. But you don't really know what products to buy because they still feel like they're geared towards men. So it'll be nice to see some women's products on the market.
And what I also want to see, and I think we will see, is that they will make women's products that aren't just the regular version, but like less protein.
Right.
Or like, because a lot of times they'll do that. They'll say this is the women's version and it's the same as the regular one, just like instead of 20 grams of protein, it's 15, and they still charge more for it. So I think we're going to get away from that and to some more, formulas for women. I always say this analogy. It's like a lot of women for a long time, because of the marketing of a lot of the active nutrition products, they thought that they would get bulky, if they took creatine. Or I see you're nodding, so maybe that thought crossed your head at some
Yes,
point
it has.
in time. But then I always say, if that were true, every guy would look the same, and there'd only be one product and a line around the door all day long. So that's not how it works. You can be these products will benefit women as well. I do want to talk two categories that I've been waiting to see a pop on that we haven't quite seen yet. I think joint health and bone health are two categories that I'm very interested in. I think that if active nutrition has been the top growing category for 3 years, I'm predicting a fourth year. It's only logical to me that people are going to start to need some joint and bone health supplements. I know personally, when I get a little when I'm hitting a hard exercise regime, my joints are usually feeling it. So I think we'll see that. It might take some reimagination or some new products there. People are a little tired of some of the category ingredients right now, but those are two categories for the maybe not this year, but the short term, maybe 2-3 years to keep a lookout for.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think, like you said, people are trying to age better, I guess you could say, trying to maintain youthfulness, and joint support goes along with that for sure.
Yeah, joint and bone health. I don't know, anyone who's done any sports probably has some sort of joint problems. And so as more people get involved, especially as people are entering at an older age, they might, I think joint health is something to really be on the lookout for. Maybe it's just anti-inflammation products, but keep a lookout for it.
Yeah, and I think that's important even for those that have stayed active. I know myself, I've tried to stay active, but I still feel like my joints just don't quite feel the same like they used to. So,
I'm with you, Bethany.
yes. And so could you provide a glimpse into any upcoming projects or innovations at Spins that reflect the company's commitment to driving positive growth in the natural products industry?
So let me give you from my perspective first, just based on my role. We are releasing our 2024 trends predictions piece in January. It's not exclusively supplements and nutraceuticals. It's over the overall industry, but a lot of the themes that we talked about will be going into more in depth. We also do have programs for some of these small and emerging brands, specifically for them, that can help them, again, jumpstart their retail launch, whether it's just managing their Amazon package, and specializing in the vitamin. This is specific to some vitamins and supplements brands. So I would encourage everyone to reach out. I'd love to talk to all of you about that, and give us a quick follow. We're always posting some data reports, some trends, and some thought leadership around the industry.
Yeah, and so I guess would they just need to reach out to you from the links that we provide, or are the reports publicized on the website, or how does that work?
Great question. Most of them should be on the Spins website, shared on our social as well. You can always reach out to me personally. I'd be happy to connect with all your brands and connect you to the right people if it's not me, within Spins or within the industry at large. And yeah, would love to talk to brands. I'm very passionate about the space, as you imagine. So I always love to hear what people are doing, what new products people are bringing to market.
Yeah. Well, great. It's been so great talking with you today and learning more about Spins and all of the resources that you have available. And as we conclude this insightful conversation, our gratitude goes to Scott Dicker for sharing his experiences and shedding light on Spin's pivotal role in shaping the natural products industry. For more information on Spin's contributions and insights, we encourage you to explore the provided links. Stay tuned for more thought-provoking discussions on Nutrapreneur, and don't forget to engage with us on social media. Until next time, stay informed and inspired in the realm of nutraceutical innovations.